Yup.
So a lot of you people out there, maybe you might be amateur pond builders or even kind of getting into the whole professional side of things. One of the big common mistakes is when you first get started building ponds, it's going to take up a tremendous amount of your productivity. A terrible waste of time is this. Imagine if you built your pond right up to the edge, and you take your rocks and you're setting it right up to the edge. The problem with that is when it comes time to edge, and the finished product is not natural, it's not organic. So what we like to do is we like to set our rocks outside of that edge so that we can get a natural, more organic look like this. And then we come back in and we backfill. So I've got Joe over here pulling the liner up. So here's our liner right over here. So he's pulling this liner up good and tight, and the underlayment's coming up underneath it. And now inside here, we can see that there's a seam between two rocks. We can get that in there really good and tight, and then continue to backfill the process. And here's what it does. It doesn't just give you a really nice organic edge, but it also locks these guys in. So when you start the backfill process, these guys aren't going to budge. They're just not going to move. And so this is how we lock the rocks into place, and this is how we build a waterfall that's solid, stable. Kids can play all over them, have a great time. Rocks aren't going to move. Machine set size boulders, absolute must. Pull your backfill up to the edge, absolute must. Stay organic. 3 tips for you. Change your world and your customers or your own.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Krys Reacts here, Aquascapes of Michiana in sunny, beautiful Southern California. Way different than Northern Indiana, which I'm used to. Which, as I'm told, is right around 30 degrees right now. And right now it's 90 degrees out here in the sun. So, loving it. But hey, wanted to bring you guys over here because we are over here seaming our first piece of liner together. Kind of want to get some shots of that and kind of show you what the process is. So take it away, Carl.
So we're seaming right now, and there's a couple of different stages. Come on over here, Krys. I'll kind of show you what we've done so far. First thing first, after you lay down your seam, what you want to do is you want to lay it down. Whoa, there we go. Watch out for Aaron.
Watch out for Aaron.
What you want to do is you want to lay down your leading edge. Your leading edge is usually the one that's going downstream. And then we want to fold these guys back against each other. The next step is to get it good and clean. There's a lot of different conversation out there in social media and on the web and all that, but honestly, just some heater fuel, just regular old kerosene. It works great because it doesn't harden the rubber. And it
so wait, say that one more time, Carl. How did you say that?
Just regular old heater fuel, kerosene.
Kerosene.
Kerosene. It works great.
So for everybody back at home, it's pronounced kerosene.
Okay, well in Southern California we pronounce kerosene. What we usually will do is we'll bring it over in our wheelbarrow, Anyways, so Aaron, after cleaning it with the kerosene, we go ahead and prime it. The type of primer that we're using is Firestone. It's a quick prime plus. It's California EPA compliant, and the idea here is to get it down to a point to where it's good and tacky, and then it's ready to be used. I'll show you over here.
Already?
Yeah, that's already ready. Look at this. So see how it's kind of bright right over here and how it's not so? But watch this. Okay? So it's already flashing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's already flashing. So one of the things you don't want to do is you don't want to do this in super hot heat. You definitely don't want to do this when it's 100+ degrees outside. We're in the mid 80s. But it's okay, it's still gonna work. So what's gonna happen after we prime it, we're gonna peel back this tape, and underneath here is double-sided seam tape.
So that's where our double-sided seam tape is.
So there's gonna be two different seams. There's gonna be the seam that goes in between the two liners. This liner, this liner. The double-sided seam tape goes in between the two liners, and then on top of that, we'll put down cover tape. The cover tape is on that roll over there.
Right over there. It's on that roll right there. It's a big one.
We'll pause the video when we get to that point, and we'll show you that, because Krys is going to have to set his phone down or his camera down long enough to be able to help us set this into place and roll it out. We're at that point right now. We're ready to do it. So the next step is this guy here. This is a new product. I believe it's manufactured by Carlisle, and I like it because it pulls off really super easy. There's other types of double-sided seam tape. I believe this is the Firestone brand. The thing I don't like about the Firestone brand is see how hard if you lay these things down long enough, they don't want to pull off very easily, as opposed to the Carlisle. Plus the Carlisle bends and twists really easy. So we can get through this without pulling it off the other liner. And we are...
And didn't you say that the Firestone was actually a paper backing, and that's actually a plastic strip?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really like this, especially with as much seaming as we do. In the last year, we've seamed several thousand feet. And we did a lake that was 300 feet long by 100 feet wide by 16 feet deep. And we did it all with this stuff, and it came out great. Not a single leak. And there were seams everywhere. It looked like a patchwork quilt. I was out there last week checking it out. Held water perfectly fine. Thank God.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is cover tape. As you can kind of see, it's got a non-sticky side, so this is actually going to go on top of the seam that we just put in. So let's get it over there.
I want to bring the other roll.
Yep, I'll grab it.
I just have to remember where I got that thing. Hey Jeff, what are we going to do about that fold right there that you're working on?
Oh, what we're going to do, we're going to take and cut it right on the top. So we'll make sure we cut it right close to here. We'll open that up, and then we'll lay our cover tape right over top of it and treat it just like a hole. It'll seal it right up.
More primer on there, Aaron.
So Carl, go ahead and explain what you're doing, buddy.
So right now what we're doing is we're very carefully laying down the cover tape over the seam, and the seam has already been primed. You can tell because it's you know, somewhat tacky. Okay, and then as soon as we're done laying the seam down, then we've got a little bit more rolling out to do, and a couple little patches I think we got to do, and we're in really good shape. This is a textbook seam. It looks really good. No problems whatsoever.